a significant amount of research was conducted and used to devise a strategy that supports economic investment and accounts for the views of residents and the business owners of this region of North Hamilton. The draft Northeast Hamilton Plan 2021 represents the culmination of a conscientious effort by the Department of Planning to prepare an informed land use strategy intended to benefit existing residents and business owners in a sustainable and meaningful way. I will now provide an overview of critical elements and how they will work in practice. The overall vision of the plan is to realize North Hamilton's sustainable economic potential in a manner which is cognizant of the established environment, sense of community, and cultural importance of the neighborhood. Essentially, we want to encourage economic development in the area, but this should not happen at a high cost to the people and businesses and residents of the area. It is also essential that the area residents and business owners form a crucial part of this process and have their say in shaping the future. The plan contains 6 objectives that underpin the vision, which indicates the priorities of the plan. They have also been used to establish a framework against which policies have been drafted. The plan provides a new approach to the application of planning policy in Bermuda, where balanced decisions will be made by carefully assessing development proposals against the plan's content as a whole. This approach will ensure the submissions are not automatically accepted because they meet all the numerical requirements of the plan. The proposed methods allows for a closer inspection of more tangible elements of the proposal, such as design considerations. This approach also ensures that there will be no instances where an otherwise proper planning application is refused because it doesn't meet the current terms of the policy. We expect this approach to increase the quality of design and remove some of the barriers to achieving a more efficient and logical decision-making process. As we have defined it, the strategic approach will place significant weight on a set of overarching strategic principles in the determination of planning applications. These strategic principles have been used to guide the content of the entire plan. They offer a clear insight as to what will be considered acceptable by the department from a strategic perspective. The plan contains a strategic section of 3 separate policies that set the scene for the plan as a whole and carry significant weight in the decision-making process. Presently, Bermuda, the public's perception of planning is that it's purely a regulatory body that functions as such. However, it is my view that planning as a discipline should be more inspirational. Essentially, capture the imagination of what the possibilities can be with a good plan. And also, I hope that by having a strategic section of the plan, we'll proactively encourage forms of development that benefit the local community. We can change those perceptions and allow for greater understanding of the positive impact systems of planning can have. Another critical component of the plan is the identification of specific development opportunity sites. Development and investment are the cornerstone of any process of regeneration. Through proactively identifying a range of sites that offer development or redevelopment potential, we hope that there will be a knock-on benefit to the wider area. The development opportunity sites located in the plan were identified through analysis and site visits. However, the list is not exhaustive, and we are keen to hear from any landowners in the community who would like to promote their land building in this way. Identifying development opportunity sites is something that the department would like to roll out island-wide at some future date. This information would be contained with a dedicated development opportunity schedule, such as a document that would effectively act as a marketing tool to domestic and international distribution, raising awareness of the investment opportunities that exist in Bermuda. Within the plan, development opportunity sites are identified alongside broad guidance of the types of appropriate uses at these locations. The plan provides a renewed focus of attaining community benefits from development activity, which is commonplace in many modern planning systems around the world and should be pursued here in Bermuda. In many instances, the granting of planning permission presents developers with an opportunity to generate significant financial returns with minimal benefits to the surrounding area. I believe that developers should be responsible for mitigating the impacts of their development and making financial investments in the broader area that further benefits the community. This plan places the concept of community benefits within the strategic section and indicates it as appropriate, their importance. Whilst the concept of community benefits is a vital importance to the plan, we want to ensure that these requirements do not deter investors or render any such projects as unfeasible or unable to be moved forward. In all instances, we will make balanced decisions on the extent and type of the community benefits being sought and discuss that with the applicants. I am confident that everyone will have found the information to be of value. I now welcome you to visit the planning website at www.planning.gov.bm to review the document in its entirety. The public are encouraged to contact the Department of Planning to hear more on this progressive new local plan. The formal statutory public consultation period will be from the 2nd of August until the 8th of October. All comments are encouraged to be submitted. This process will enable the Department of Planning to incorporate feedback into the final version of the plan. I sincerely hope that all stakeholders will take advantage of this opportunity, and certainly myself as a minister and the department and the Bermuda government look forward to working with everybody in the area to shape this plan and its future, and certainly the future of North Hamilton. Thank you very much. Afternoon. Well, thank you for that question. That would have been done probably most likely by the Corporation of Hamilton along with the government's support. Right now, the responsibility for the municipalities is under Public Works. So that's a question you can probably at some future day put to the minister. But I can say that those sort of enhancements will be a part of what we'll be focusing on in Northeast Hamilton. Efforts to advance the access to Wi-Fi and the overall infrastructure, we believe certainly will support greater development. So further progress in that will come within the plan, and certainly as residents want to move forward in those efforts, we will work with them to do so, because this is a cooperative effort between the government, certainly the Department of Planning, and the residents and stakeholders in the area. So if they want additional support in broadband infrastructure, we will make that a part of a key component of the plan as we move forward. Yeah.
What should be done with it? What are your thoughts on this area? What do you think should be done?
Well, I don't want to comment too much on Wantley House because I believe that matter is the subject of planning consideration, and I am a part of that process, so I won't comment on Wantley House. But I do believe I can say this, that any effort to have responsible use of that property will be welcomed by all concerned, particularly the residents and anyone who has an interest in the future of the property. And I mean, the government has no different interest from anybody else. We want to see a responsible use of the property in whatever form that takes in the future.
So in this planning, would residents be able to comment on what they've done, what they have to do?
Yes. One thing that should be noted is that where that particular property is and other neighboring properties is part of a historical preservation zone. So a lot more care and attention will be given to that area. And as you inspect the actual Hamilton plan, you'll see that that is particularly zoned out. The different 7 districts that are outlined in the plan does account for that important historical preservation zone designation that is there, and Wantley and other properties exist within that. And just as a side point, it might be of interest to many people that really this part of North Hamilton going in this direction is really what's left of Old Hamilton that predates the sort of development boom period. That is where you'll find a lot of historical buildings. That's where you find a lot of residences that have existed now for many decades in that area. So that area will get special attention and care with the forward plans within this local plan. I can assure you of that, because its preservation and its upkeep is integral to the plan itself. But that's in general for that whole area where Wantley and other properties do exist. Well, I'm not so sure that is actually correct, because this is the only plan that the government has been working on. Perhaps some other bodies may have had proposals in place, but this plan, which has been worked on for the past 10 years, is the only plan that the government's been working on. Maybe the corporates in Hamilton have their own plan. Maybe that's what you're referring to. But the actual government's plan that has been put together by the Department of Planning, this is the only single plan, and this is the plan that will take precedence in this area. Well, I can't account for what may have happened in 2015. Perhaps a member of my planning team can talk to the work that may have done then. But this is a culmination of work that's been going on for quite some time. There may have been some pre-plans or some proposals that were being canvassed by the local community at that time, but this is the final version. But perhaps director or anyone of your team want to speak to what may have happened in 2015?
Good afternoon. So yes, in 2015, the department started a public consultation phase for the development of a development plan for Northeast Hamilton. There was a lot of work done at that time, and unfortunately, for more than one reason, it was paused. So we're pleased to have had this opportunity to restart that process, and that's why we are here today to release it officially. But it is very important to note this is not an operative plan at this point, which means that any planning applications that are submitted for this area of the city, they won't be assessed under this plan until it is made final. And of course, we have a lot of consultation to occur between now and when that period of time happens.
Thank you. Just a reminder that the public consultation period does begin August 8th to October. So quite a few substantial months where everybody in the community who has an interest in this plan will be able to make submissions. So as the director said, this is not operative yet. It won't be operative until we go through that process and we get the feedback from all people concerned. But I think that the community will be not only curious, but also pleased with what's been proposed, because it actually takes into consideration, I believe, after all this, a lot of time, a lot of work has gone with working with different stakeholder groups. And I'd like to thank all of those over the past 10 years who have been involved with this process. Obviously, I've been, at least in this period, the planning minister since 2018. So there's a lot of work that was done by a lot of people, including the planning team who's here today, and with people in the community to get some sort of idea on how to shape it. So I thank all those people who actually made their contributions during that time. So their work now will be on show, and they'll have an opportunity to comment and give feedback and continue to shape how the Northeast Hamilton local plan will look. Any other questions? No, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming here today. This is just the start of the journey, and I look forward to informing the public further about how we progress with this through the consultation period and beyond. But thank you very much, everybody, for coming.